Hello everyone and welcome back to Matterhorn. Today we are going to talk about the Elder Scrolls Blades a bit. I've been playing the game consistently for the last week, and I think I have about 13 to 15 hours of playtime so far. I am currently level 15 and I'm getting pretty close to level 16 as you can see on the screen. This quest is called Goblins United, and it is part of a quest line that is running parallel to the main story quest. Essentially, goblins have been attacking people more frequently, and in this quest we are infiltrating a goblin stronghold to determine if there is a goblin alliance. Back in town, there is an Imperial liaison who has been working to weed out why goblin activity has been on the rise. Naturally, your character is doing the legwork. Up to this point, goblins were looked at as incredibly stupid, and the idea of an alliance between groups of goblins was just crazy talk. Well, as you will see in this video, we do indeed confirm that different factions of goblins have formed an alliance. I can say that the story and side quests have gotten incredibly more varied and interesting since my initial impressions video. At that time I was pretty low level and the story hadn't really even started. Now an Elder Scroll has been introduced, and the Thalmor have shown up in my town, looking for me, and there are a ton of new citizens who have moved in and are playing different roles. I have also been able to substantially upgrade my town. This includes numerous houses or dwellings for my citizens, including an alchemist, a workstation, and I am currently building an enchanter's tower. There's still a lot of ruined buildings left to rebuild, the entrance, walls, and more, so I am definitely not going to be done rebuilding my town anytime soon. The music is still just painfully average. It is not bad by any means, but it is not memorable in the way that you've come to expect the soundtrack to an Elder Scrolls game to be. Still, the game has been fun, but you really have to be in the right mindset. Waiting hours to unlock chests just sucks. There's no way around it. But then again, this is a free mobile game, so I could throw money at the issue if I wanted the waiting to go away. In a weird way though, the time you wait unlocking, say, a gold chest, makes it just that much more satisfying when you land some sweet gear. I woke up this morning and opened up a gold chest that I started unlocking last night before bed. In that chest, I got like 10 gems, which is awesome, but I also got a magnificent steel armor of minor health, which, rated at 114 armor, was over 20 points higher than the armor I had been using, plus it came with a nice boost to my health. So Bethesda has, in a perverse way, made the ridiculous 6-hour wait to unlock a gold chest seem worth it. See how well I am doing justifying this mobile nonsense? Anyway, if you've been watching as I am continuing on my quest here, what I need to be doing is collecting banners of all three goblin factions. This quest is actually a little different than your average one, which is to collect items, explore a location, or defeat a certain number of enemies. The main story quests are far more varied, and they also include locations that have hidden passages, which are labeled as secret areas. Though this isn't a main story quest, there are actually 2 secret areas here. I enjoy searching locations for these secret areas, as they always contain chests of some sort, and sometimes more than one. Also, as I have progressed through the game, the quests are getting longer and longer. Main story quests are now taking 15 to 20 minutes to complete, whereas when I started the game they would hover around 5 minutes or so. This makes the game much more difficult. As you can see, I am taking a lot of potions and looking for health items all over the map. The combat is still pretty simplistic, but there is definitely nuance here. I really do want to use my fire spell more often, but if I am interrupted while using it, there is a huge health penalty that makes the risk versus reward basically not worth it. I need to get better at timing enemy attacks, but as you can see, there isn't often a lot of time to spend 2 to 3 seconds charging up a firebolt attack, so I am instead using melee attacks and some of my abilities. I need to get better at timing, but when you're getting wailed on by a goblin, it is harder to do than it looks, trust me. The graphics in the game still impress me, considering this is on my phone. I wish there was more variety though. There are 3 basic areas, a dungeon like you see here, a cave system, and an outside forest area. That is it, so far anyway. Though the paths and secret areas change, the visual style of each area does not. I am already hoping to see some additional variety, and I am only at around level 15, so hopefully Bethesda adds more areas in the future, or they are unlocked later in the game. At this point, I am assuming I've essentially seen it all though. All that said, it still does look really good. Performance was also an issue I had. I somewhat mitigated this by turning my Samsung Galaxy 8 Plus to gaming mode, which I did not know it had. When I'm going to play for a little while, I close out all open apps and turn on gaming mode. This has helped performance quite a bit, so if you have a Galaxy phone and are struggling with the game's performance, be sure to try this out. So back to the quest. As you could just see that there's a key introduced here, and this actually is the first time keys have been introduced in the game when I'm playing this quest here. So this is also the first time I've opened up a secret area. This is one of the secret passages I was talking about. And there's skeevers in the room. So I'm coming around the corner. There's another one. These things are easy to fight, although the giant skeevers are a little bit more difficult. You can see I actually get an opportunity to use my firebolt spell whenever I'm fighting skeevers because they're predictable in their attacks. They always jump at you at a certain, like immediately basically. You can hit them, knock them away, and then you can charge up a firebolt attack. So as you can see inside this secret area, there's a little bit of food, which is appreciated in this quest because it's basically killing me. And then there's also a standard chest there. So now that I've got the key, I'm going to head back over to this door that was locked and continue on this quest. It's interesting that, 10, 15 hours into the game that they're still introducing new gameplay elements, such as locked doors. This is the first time that I saw it, and so it's good that the game is going to continue throwing new things at you even after you spent, a dozen or so hours with it. I do like, as I've said before, especially in my earlier videos, that there is some interactivity with the environments. Obviously, the bulk of that interactivity is through combat, and as you continue to increase in level, there's more enemies. Like I said earlier, the difference really between these quests now in the game versus early on is not just the number of enemies, but really the length of time that it takes you to get through the level, and that's because the levels are just a lot longer. Now, a lot of the locations are pretty samey looking, so you'll have, a bunch of different castles or dungeons or whatever it may be, and they'll look exactly like you see here. What changes really is, what the layout is, where the secrets are, if there are secrets, and then the enemies that you're fighting. It could be wolves, it could be skeevers that you saw earlier. Obviously there's goblins, but then there's also mercenaries. Recently necromancers started coming into the picture. And then I know later on, just through some promotional materials, we saw that there's dragons in the game. So that's going to be interesting to see. So it is something to look forward to, and Bethesda really thought this out, I think, for the long haul, because I know there are mobile games out there where the first 5 or 10 hours you play the game, you've really seen everything that there is to see. So the fact that the town area is going to let you continue build, there's going to be another, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 hours until I complete that. And then even after I've rebuilt all of the buildings, there's 3 different building styles to choose from. And I'm basically doing the cheapest, wooden version of those buildings right now. Although I did do one building with stone, I think. But that's just gives you more opportunity to build up your town even more. And then we know later on Bethesda is going to allow us, as you see me open up another secret area right there, Bethesda is going to allow us to share our towns. We can go visit other people's towns, which that sounds awesome. I'm definitely excited about doing that because the game gives you flexibility to place whatever you want wherever you want. Now, some of the locations require 2 plots, so to speak, but you can put your smithy anywhere you want where there's two plots side by side. Now, my town, I put all the stuff centrally located right in the front where you start because I don't want to have to, walk a long way. But I think it'll be interesting to see what other people do, and if somebody's doing more than one alchemist, for example, and what would be the purpose of that? Because you can build another one. It lets me build more than one, so I'm kind of curious as to why that would be. And of course, all of those buildings that you build, you can upgrade. So the alchemist, for example, there's level 2 and level 3, and I don't know what you can build later on. If there's something that's going to come up even after that, especially when maybe new enemies are introduced. And of course, the Elder Scrolls has a huge wealth of enemies, as you see me looking here, because I keep on thinking that there's something hidden down there. It's really just a broken vase, but I'm certain, and the reason I backtracked here is because I went and cleared out that area and forgot to grab that banner. So now I'm heading back. I've gotten 2 out of 3 banners now, and then I'm on my way to get the 3rd banner. And you saw, the video just jumped right there because I got a notification on my phone, which ended up showing up here in the video stream. But now you can see me fighting this white ghost warrior, and these guys are definitely a lot more difficult than they were earlier. Goblins were pretty easy early on, but these little guys right here are starting to do some real damage, and I'm kind of going through potions pretty quickly here. I had stocked up before this because this my level showed up as a level 4 out of 5 in difficulty, I think is what it was, so I knew that I was going to be in for some pain here. But this is really the end of the quest right here, and I'm really pushing the limits, thinking I can beat this guy. And I get past that guy, and I take a couple potions right there, but you're going to see here that I really just push it too far. I'm going to end up dying right here at the end on the second to last guy, because I think, you know, hey, there's the last banner. Instead of just going and getting the banner, I'm looking around. Here comes this Iron Skull Warrior, and he's going to kill me because I'm just hubris, I guess, right? I'm thinking, you know what? I'm at the end. I always got him beat. Nope. My death was inevitable. And then I'm down to now just one of these scrolls of revival. I killed this guy. I thought he was the last one, so I was really, really upset that I ended up having to use that right at the very end because I didn't want to restart everything. But there is another guy in here, so you'll see me take him out. All in all, this was an interesting quest. It's a little different. There's actually a cinematic piece to it, and I haven't really seen a whole lot of that. But the game is continuing to throw new things. I'm enjoying it. I don't know how much, if I can get another 15 or 30 hours out of it, we'll see. I'm getting up there now. It's getting pretty difficult. The time investment that I have now makes me want to push even further. But you know what? I'll keep on making videos and let you guys know if anything interesting else comes up, and if the game changes later on whenever we get to a non-early access version of Blades. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time.